Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm CJ Macklin. We're back with another week of your Arkansas football recruiting report with Otis Kirk. Otis, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good, CJ. Good seeing you all week at practice and everything.
Oh yeah, it's been a busy week. Speaking of practice, there's been a lot of recruits come out, and we this old line is getting ready to reload. Right, Miles McVay, 6'7", 358 pounds. He's still in high school, still in the 11th grade.
Yeah, from East St. Louis, Illinois. Big kid, got about 31 offers. Was here at at practice yesterday. I stood down one end. I look up there at the offensive lineman, and we know there's no small people in that offensive line, but he's standing out, and he stood out. I mean, it was easy to pick him out. I mean, just 4-star, that the type player that Cody Kennedy and Sam Pittman would love to add to this program. Amongst everybody's offered him, but some of the schools that are really probably looking at is Alabama, Oklahoma, Michigan State, Arkansas. I don't know about Missouri that much,
Right.
but he's he's the type player that if you can build the offensive line around him for 2 or 3 years, and probably 3 years, and he'll be in the NFL somewhere, getting paid on Sundays to play football.
Oh, that's a big fella. And we also have another guy that was here a couple weeks ago, right? Luke Brown. He's out of Tennessee, Paris, Henry County. He's a 4-star right out of Tennessee. How big is this fella coming to this offensive line?
6'5", 310. Kind of a runt among the group we're talking about today. But now, Luke's going to be here at the spring scrimmage on Saturday, and he's going to bring his mother with him to look the things over. His parents here, and I felt like he was a strong lean to Arkansas after he left here on March the 5th. Well, now he's bringing his mom back to check this place out. I really look for him to commit to Arkansas. And it's just me speculating, but I look for him to commit to Arkansas. If not, it's on Saturday, then soon afterward. I think he will be the second commitment on the offensive line for Cody Kennedy and Sam in his class, and they're getting a good one. I mean, this is a kid out of Tennessee that's got a lot of offers. He's got about 28 offers. So basically, all the main schools have offered him, and but he really liked Arkansas. He likes what Sam Pittman and Cody Kennedy are doing with the offensive line.
I tell you what, Otis, almost 30 offers in high school. Wow, that's a lot of offers from a high school kid. Now, Connor Stroh, 6'7". Say that one more time, Otis.
345 pounds.
Yeah, Frisco Wakeland.
6'7", 345. He's another one of these guys.
Yeah, another 4-star recruit.
Down in Texas, another 4-star. Yeah, and he's got about 18 offers. I don't know why he don't have more, but he will get them. But he was kind of late getting the offer. He reshaped his body. He was pretty big last year, and he changed his body, and he's big now, but it's a lot of it's muscle instead of fat,
Yeah.
And so this is a kid. I really look for Connor, and he was here on on January the 15th. He will also be here Saturday.
Okay.
And I think probably at the end of the day, when it comes down, and he hasn't started narrowing it down yet, but I really think Arkansas, Texas, and Baylor will be in a 3-team fight for him when he announces his decision. I think it'll be one of those three now. Could somebody else sneak in there? Sure. There's a lot of schools on him, and a lot more, Texas Tech, Auburn, a bunch of schools are trying to get in there, and they might make a move, but I really think it'll be one of those three schools for this player. And, and Arkansas could do well to get into Frisco, because that's a north of Dallas there. Really got some good football up in that area. And so I look for Arkansas to at least be in the finals for this player. And he's a dandy too.
Some good football. And those Texas college football programs are also huge. It's going to be tough fighting those other two colleges, trying to get him to come to Arkansas. But I'm pretty sure we have a good shot at Strobe. We also have Joey Sue, 315 pounds, and he's just down the street, Otis, in Bentonville. 3-star. He committed on September 29th?
Plays the Dogs. Yeah. He committed to Arkansas on September 29th. He's this is the one 3-star on here, and he shouldn't be a 3-star. He's at the Rivals camp today down in Dallas working out. I think when they see him in person like I had a high school coach, CJ, tell me, a high school coach in Arkansas tell me he's the best offensive lineman he's ever coached against.
Wow.
And so this kid can play. He's been to Arkansas numerous times this spring, but Georgia, Michigan State, a bunch of schools have offered him, and Oregon has offered him, and he had a lot of offers, but he just, for some reason, he moved from California to Arkansas, and he didn't get on the radar of some of these national recruiting services early as some of these other kids did. And I think, like I said, he's at Rivals today in Dallas at a camp down there. I think when they see him and they start evaluating him, I look for him to possibly move. He's already moved up quite a bit from, he was a low 2-star to a mid 2-star. I mean, a low 3-star to a mid 3-star. I look for him to eventually, they'll move up to a 4-star. I think he'll make it.
That'll be huge. And all 4 of these guys, from McVay all the way down to Stroh, all these guys coming in 2023. How big is that class, the 2023 class, as far as offensive line is concerned?
Boy, I tell you what, I look for Arkansas. Like I said, they've got the one commitment with Joey now. I do think that Luke will commit. I look for them to take 4 or 5 kids in this class on the line. They only lost 1 player last year, but they've got more kids now. They're moving up, going to be seniors. So I think you'll start seeing 4 or 5 kids in the offensive line in each class. Tim likes them as offensive linemen, for good reason. That's what makes everything in offense starts with the line, just like it starts with the line on defense.
Now, coming into next week, the spring scrimmage that we have at Razorback Stadium, how many recruits do you think will be there at that atmosphere in their spring scrimmage games this year?
Oh, man. All of them I mentioned except McVay will be there. I tell you what, I think there could be 50 or 60 kids at that. I mean, they're going to put an emphasis on that. And I think there'll be 50 or 60 recruits at that at least. And, if there's less than that, it's probably by design, because I know Sam doesn't like to get 100 kids or something on campus at one time, because you can't pay them attention. You can't give them the attention they deserve. So he may keep it small, a little bit smaller than that, but I think they'll bring 40, 50, 60 kids to that. And I think they'll enjoy it. And I think they'll get some. I know everybody's getting anxious about some more commitments, but I think Arkansas will get some next weekend, at least 1. And I've already said who I think it'll be, but I think they could get more too.
Yeah, spring scrimmage game at 11 a.m. next week. That thing is going to be pretty packed. And 100 people, you're right. The 10 to 100 kids is tough to do when you're on campus, Otis.
Yeah, and then you factor in 2 or 3, couple of parents or friends or whatever. Yeah. You're talking about 300, 400 people there, and it gets pretty packed. And you want to be able to pay attention to the kids you've got on campus. Because you may not get some of them, you may not get another chance. This is your chance to make a good impression,
right?
And so you want to make sure you make that good impression, because a bad impression, it might be the last impression you make on them. But this staff is really good about talking to people. The people skills they've got, they're really good. I don't anticipate that ever being a problem with them. But I think it'll be a good turnout next weekend, and it'll be good to see. I've already had a lot of kids reach out and tell me they're going to be there next week. Besides Stroh, I've had other kids tell me they're going to be there. So it's going to be fun, and we're going to get to see some more football and be the first scrimmage media's got to see. We didn't get to see the one like Saturday before last. So, we saw the practice yesterday, but it was just a practice.
Right.
But this will be the first scrimmage we get to see also. So it'll be the second one of the spring. So it'll be interesting how it goes.
I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, you've seen me all week here at practice, Arkansas football practice. But what are you looking forward to as far as Saturday goes? Are you looking toward the wide receivers, the O-line? Where are you looking forward for the spring scrimmage game coming up?
I'm looking for some of these players to make some separation. We've seen them in practice,
right?
But most of it hasn't been. A lot of it hasn't been with full pads, tackle on the ground. I'm looking for some guys like at receiver. I can name you 5 or 6 there, but I'm looking for maybe 3 or 4 to separate. Secondary, some of these safeties, they're loaded there. I mean, I can name you 4 or 5 that could serve a start or 6. Defensive line be interesting, but they're short on numbers right there in the spring. But linebacker, I really feel good about 5 or 6 kids there right now. I think it'll be more than that when Manny Powell gets in.
Right.
But no, just just watch the receivers. I want to see. We watched Jayden Hazelwood in practice. Every day I go out there, he's catching a deep pass.
Yeah, he
And
does.
it'll be interesting how they use Hornsby in that too. Malik Hornsby. How much action will KJ Jefferson get? We'll see about that too.
I'm looking forward to everything. The Hornsby action and wide receiver. I'm looking forward to Hazelwood. Like you said, he's going to be prime time coming from Oklahoma. He already told us earlier this year, though, he's not, he don't want to be Traylon Burks. He want to be his own guy. But he has been catching some deep passes in practice, like you said.
See, that's what I was so proud when he said that, because I hear everybody saying he's the next Traylon Burks. Look, people, there was only one Traylon Burks.
Yeah.
I know Traylon was a 4-star, Jayden was a 5-star. Look, they're both great players in their own way.
Right.
He's not Traylon Burks, and Traylon Burks wasn't Jayden Hazelwood.
Yeah.
But Jayden Hazelwood is one heck of a receiver. Just appreciate you've got him and for what you've got, and don't pair him. If he doesn't go out there the first game of the season and look, or next Saturday, for instance, or in the first game against Cincinnati, and look like Traylon Burks, don't get down on the kid. I mean, he's a great player. He's going to be great. You don't do what he did at OU and not be great.
Yeah. Don't get down, because he'll also be in a green jersey, I believe. Coach Pittman said so. We're going to be looking forward to a lot of people coming to spring scrimmage game on 11 o'clock next Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. Otis, I appreciate you stopping by, man, for the football recruiting report. We're going to do it again next week.
See you Tuesday, CJ. Thanks, man.
I'll see you next week. Have a good one, man.